Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Jay, as always, and I am joined by Alex from Podcast Now. I always have to do these intros when you're here, Alex. I have to reintroduce who I am just in case someone thinks that the channel was hijacked. I'm actually rebranding, though, tomorrow. I'm going to change both my channels to mess with you. It's going to be Podcast Tomorrow, and my gameplay channel will be Podcast Yesterday. I want to make it harder to find you in the search. So this will be the only way you get new subs. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. We're talking about Demon Souls today. You are a huge fan. You, I think, like you said, are the core demographic that plays this game, gets your butt handed to you, but just keeps coming back for more. What were you thinking when you saw this gameplay reveal trailer that we finally saw the other day? Because I was just stoked out of my mind.
Yeah, so when this was, firstly, thank you for having me. I'm happy I, again, get to change your intros for you. Bluepoint, they are, in my mind, the top. If you want a remake, you go to Bluepoint. Okay, the people that made Crash and Spyro, they did amazing too. But, I think Bluepoint is the top of the line. Sony's lucky to have them. When there was the debate of what they were going to do, there was Siphon Filter, there was Resistance, there was a lot of talk on a lot of different games. Now, I've always been for Resistance. I wanted that. But Demon Souls was one of those pioneering, I would call it that, pioneering game, not just for the PS3, but literally From Software. Sony had the chance to buy them. They didn't do it. That's a huge mistake. Imagine Sony, if one of their first-party studios was From Software right now, it could happen in an alternate dimension. So when Demon Souls was announced for that first time at the PS5 reveal event, I mean, it's like I said to you earlier, it's not even fair how good. The Uncharted stuff looks amazing. All the stuff they've done, Shadow of the Colossus, all of them look insane. But this, maybe it's just because of the age gap of how long ago Demon Souls was, but it looks incredible. And then, we were all expecting gameplay, a few days ago, and we got it. And again, you look at those comparison videos, you see what they're doing, just everything. You maybe even take, I kind of take for granted the situation because you look at it and it looks just so good. It looks up to snuff with a 2020 remake. But again, you go back and you look at what Demon Souls look like. It's not even close. And so, yeah, that gameplay looks absolutely insane. It's my reason, for getting a PS5. There was a lot of talk that they may not have been able to have it go up at launch, that it was a launch window, but not necessarily a launch day, but now confirmed, coming launch day. Fantastic. Honestly, fantastic for a lot of different people.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it as well. I mean, and to touch on it real quick, Bluepoint has done so many good things, even some things that people don't really remember as much. They did the God of War collection for PlayStation 3, where they remastered different ports of PlayStation 2's God of War 1 and 2 in that as well, which those run really well. I'm actually playing through those over on my Let's Play channel. I haven't put it up yet. I'm in the process of recording it, and so I have firsthand experience with those games. They're fantastic. They did the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection. Then later on, they just totally, redid Shadow of the Colossus on PS4. Just a remake. The Metal Gear Solid HD collection, the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, a Gravity Rush remastered. These are the guys you go to for remakes or remasters. This is like the cream of the crop. The other ones, I would say, like you said, Bob's Toys for Spyro, and I believe, did they do Crash as well? Was that Bob?
I think it was it Vicarious Visions or something like that? That was, yeah.
Yeah, so you have a few different ones. I think that the interesting thing is we're living sort of in an age where I feel like on PS3 and PlayStation 4, people were complaining about this. Why do you keep re-releasing old games? Why do you keep porting this stuff up? Everything's a remake was kind of a complaint. And now it's the opposite. We're like, well, can we play this again? Where's this? I think that this is really going to satisfy a lot of people. People have been asking for Demon Souls forever. And one thing I wanted to point out to you is it wasn't in this trailer. I didn't see it. But did you notice how there was sort of a different area shown also in the very first glimpse we got, the cinematic trailer way back? And people have been talking about there might be, this is total speculation, but there was an entire world cut from this game at launch, and people are wondering if maybe they're adding back in some of that cut content.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that. I think from the leaks or rumors, I think that is the case that they're bringing back. They like to do that sometimes. Again, you go to Crash and stuff like that. Adding in those bonus levels, the ones that were cut or the ones that were just kind of hidden, and they bring it back. For Crash, they did the DLC, free DLC. You could play that whatever one that tower one was. That's like the hardest thing ever. They brought that back, so I would absolutely not be surprised. And yeah, I think you have to kind of do. You don't have to, but I do completely agree with you. Remember when we were in that era of remasters where they were remaking everything, and people were like, "Can you make like a new game for once?" And then it kind of did stop, and then now we're back in it where they're kind of rare, but they're at such a higher bar. There will, I think, be some that kind of like maybe take the wind out of the sails. Like the Prince of Persia remake does not look like, I'm getting it, but it does not look very good at all. That seems like a lazy remake, which again, I'm still gonna want to make that clear. Mass Effect, that's the first EA remaster they would do. That, and it's EA, so that could be very messy. So I mean, we could be getting to like an oversaturation saturation thing, but yeah, for Demon's Souls, because it's been wanted for so long. I mean, this is a slam dunk, and the reason is because I really do think the From Software people, or in just general, the people that like those kind of games, they are truly, and I think stats will back me up, they are completely separate from everybody else. There's like sports players or sometimes just Call of Duty players. From Software people are literally in a boat on their own. And this game, I really do think, guarantees you a couple million, and I do mean that literally, 1, 2, 3 million people to get your PS5, to get Demon's Souls, that never will get your PS5 for any other reason. That I really, same thing for Bloodborne, like a Bloodborne remaster remake, which I do think one day they will do. That is another one that's a slam dunk. Those people do not sometimes play other games, and they only play those. Maybe some are watching, the video right now. I really do think that's the case, and I think that is probably why they chose Demon's Souls. By the way, again, I would have preferred Resistance, which is also kind of a smaller, like it was an amazing franchise, but nobody played it. Demon's Souls, it didn't have the highest player count, but it did actually do really, really well. Obviously spawned the Souls franchise, right? So there's a reason why they picked it, not just because they could make it as good as it looks like it's going to be, but they have Sony really does have an entire wave of people coming in the PS5 that are not getting Xbox because they don't have it, and will not get the PS5 for any other reason but for Demon's Souls.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty incredible, too. I mean, the whole thing looks unreal, and you even talked about a little bit to me off camera. We were talking about the comparison video. It's not even fair. It's insane. This is just, it's incredible looking. I feel like we said, I could gush about it for hours, because this is one of those things that's just really high-level next generation stuff. This looks like you just built the game from the ground up as a next generation game, and that's it. If Demon's Souls had never come out, obviously this wouldn't look like a remaster, but it would just look like, its own game all alone, or a fourth Dark Souls. And I kind of wonder if that's part of what this is too, is sort of appeasing that hardcore Sony fan base and getting them to come back too. I mean, it's not even just From Software, because hardcore Sony fans, that's one thing they mentioned from the PS3 as big things in terms of things that people would mention. It's the same thing with Killzone and Resistance. That was a hardcore Sony thing, and it almost seems like they are appealing back to that hardcore Sony exclusive base, a little bit like Nintendo does with their stuff. I guarantee you we will see another game like Bloodborne, or even a Dark Souls 4 at some point, even if it's not named that. It's just too big of a name to drop. Same thing with Uncharted. These names get so big that I understand wanting to let From Software back off for a while, because you don't want to drive them into the ground. Like, remake this 50 times, or make 20 more Demon's Souls or Dark Souls. But it's so big for Sony, and even just for multi-platform consoles in general, that I think that this will be sort of the Bloodborne of this generation, where it's like, oh man, I wish I had a PS4 to play Bloodborne. That was always one of the things you'd hear. And then I think that we'll see a multi-platform Soulsy game in the next 3 or 4 years as well, but this is going to hold those people over. And I'm sitting here fidgeting with something in my hand because I'm just really excited thinking about playing it.
Totally. Yeah, and it's honestly, it speaks, I think, to the power of it, like you said, because it's going to get hardcore, Sony fans of the early PS3 era. It's going to, and some people, and plus that, I should say, some people think it's the best, or some, in people's opinions, some think it's the best of all the Souls games. I've seen people say, Demon's Souls was the best one. Everybody has, their favorites, but I'm sure to a lot of From Software people that, follow, all those games that they make, that one was their favorite. So they have them. It's Honestly amazing that like you said, like Bloodborne, I think that was the for PS4. If you look back and you like somehow figured out like the search term or how often people said I wish I had a PS4 so I could play this game, I really do think Bloodborne's number one for some reason. And it's not even the highest selling game. There's many, you know, Spider-Man, and there's a lot of other games that are very, very bigger than Bloodborne, but Bloodborne I think was just so much talked about and just struck such a chord. And it's honestly, I completely agree with you. Demon Souls, this remake, I think is that for the PS5 a whole lot earlier in the PS5 generation, which Sony probably planned that way, right? Because they said, hey, again, we can sell millions of units just from one game. There's not many games that can do that, honestly. You know what another game could be? An Uncharted game could do that. Spider-Man. That's really top three. I would say those are my top three. Could have been The Last of Us, but not after 2. Those are probably my top three. Bring a Souls game in. A new Uncharted does absolutely sell consoles, and then any Spider-Man game would do it. And that is an honor if you're, you know, Demon Souls, right, to be up in that kind of upper echelon of games. So it's incredible that a remake. It's a remake. It's not even it is a game, you know, built from the ground up, but it is based off the original, or, you know, using that. It's incredible that it has the power. I would say, you know, I've always said Miles Morales is the most important PlayStation 5 game, or Spider-Man is. Honestly, at launch, I would argue they're almost, I know there's a massive, you know, and maybe I get in trouble on your channel, right? There could be Miles people. I understand Miles is massive, but at the same time, Demon Souls has such a fan base that's just so different, kind of like under a rock almost, that they don't really come out all that much, but it's so massive, and you'll see it in sales. Miles will, you know, outsell it, but it, you know, it's going to be really, really cool to see how both those games do.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I think that it really makes me excited for the PlayStation 5, despite other things that I've said as well. Like I'm sure this will go up long after my video tearing into them for their pre-orders and stuff. They've mishandled some stuff, but the lineup of games long term for PS5, if that was your console that you just had, right? Let's say that your PS4 disappeared and you just had a PS5, the long-term library on this thing is looking better and better. And I think Demon Souls is going to be that main thing that draws people in at the beginning on its own, because like you said, that's one of the only things that's PS5 exclusive that we know of. I mean, Horizon's going to also be on PS4. Miles is also going to be on PS4. I think Sackboy is too, isn't it?
Yeah, Sackboy. I think now Ratchet and Clank's kind of been quiet, but I'm pretty sure that'll probably be on. But Demon Souls will, for my opinion, probably will be the only PS5 game, which is actually kind of incredible and in a negative way, but it's only, I think, going to help it out, honestly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think we're both super excited for this. Like I said, we could go on and on about it and just tons of stuff with it. But in general, I'm excited for the combat. I'm excited for the updated graphics. I'm excited for the frame rate not to be absolute dog crap, because it ran really bad on the PS3, even though it's super fun. I'm excited to go into places like fight the Dragon God and have my game not borderline crash and try to kill itself. Because that would happen a lot on the PS3 version. Just overall, it looks like every negative of the PS3 version, from what we see at least, has been stripped away, and you've been left with the heart of what Demon Souls was, just in absolute beautiful next-generation graphics and performance. And I think we're both super hyped to see that.
Totally. This is, I think this probably will be, if not the best remake. A lot of people, some will say Final Fantasy VII. There's a couple of remakes that are really regarded as some of the best of all time. The Legend of Zelda game that came out last year. Like, there's a lot of them, but I think Demon Souls, honestly, when it comes out, it'll probably be in at least like the top 5 of best remakes. And that's something we don't even really touch upon, but I think that honestly will be the case, that we could be talking about right now the best remake that's ever happened.
Yeah, I really hope so. It's looking so great right now, and I have those high hopes for it too, definitely. It's just mind-blowing to finally see it come back, for sure. So, hey, thank you so much for coming on, Alex. I really do want to encourage people to check out your channel. That's Podcast Now. I'm going to include it in the description down below, and I also will do a pinned comment. I've told Alex in a lot of different ways that his channel is in some ways what I want to be, although I don't have the energy level to put out as much content as you put out, Alex. I can't do that. But just in terms of covering different stuff, you know, you do such a good job of, from Batman to Demon Souls, to PlayStation, to Xbox, to anything. I mean, I've even seen you cover movies, and that's one thing I really like about you. And you're also an ongoing reason I've actually kept my channel around, because we're friends behind the scenes, and there have been times where I've kind of just really been disheartened by YouTube, and you've really kind of helped me stick with it. So I think that Alex is actually an important part of this channel as well. He's helped keep it around, and I really do recommend you help support him. Check out his channel and subscribe to him, because that would be awesome. We hope you have a fantastic day. Oh yeah, Alex, did you have anything to say for the outro?
I appreciate the kind words, and like I said, you do an awesome job, and you're you have a ton of knowledge, and like I said, this was a blast. I love talking Demon Souls with you, so very much up to doing whatever you want, and I really do think you have the brightest future ahead, especially with this variety kind of stuff. You definitely have the ability to talk about so many different things. So this was awesome, and again, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, and everybody, please check out Alex's channel. Have a fantastic day, and as always, stay shui.